Risk and uncertainty concept by quantum simulations. The market is experiencing disruptions related to the strategic interactions of companies and the degree of rationality of the strategic choices made in the previous period. These equilibria change each period according to the strategic reactions of each company to the equilibrium of the current period. Competitive dynamics thus generate information. This information, which is multiple and changing, makes the situation complex. Nevertheless, information can also be an answer. For that, it must be of quality. The difficulty is that its access will be costly. Agents compare its cost to the gain it brings and the fact that other companies are aware of it. Being the only one to have certain strategic information can give competitive advantages, but can sometimes lead to situations of imbalance. Information asymmetry is a source of uncertainty. It generates opportunistic behavior that blurs strategic decisions. Two concepts define the relationship of information asymmetry between two agents. When the two parties to a transaction do not have the same information, adverse selection arises when, in a transaction, one of the parties holds private information on elements likely to affect the net profits that the other party may derive from the contract. For example, when a company chooses a supplier for a complex product, it is difficult to estimate its degree of competence. The latter may cheat on its technological ability to provide the requested product with the required quality and thus obtain the contract. Adverse selection is, therefore, a problem of pre-contractual opportunism. Moral hazard is a form of post-contractual opportunism that arises when the actions implemented by the contracting parties are not observable. The persons carrying them out are then likely to pursue their interests at the expense of the other party, with the consequences that this implies. Each party to the contract cannot, therefore, always verify without cost that the terms of the contract are respected. It is, therefore, the difficulties of control and the associated costs that generate moral hazard. Information is essential and conditions the efficiency of strategic decisions but also the efficiency of the market. As far as competitive dynamics and strategic decisions are concerned, a company may want to manipulate information. Either it keeps its activity secret, or it discloses false information in order to blur the tracks and make the competition not know how to recognize the accurate information from the false ones. The strategy of secrecy is delicate to carry out. Sometimes, some information unintentionally escapes the company's control. Other times, the company's investments are visible and reveal future strategies. The signals given by a company to its competitors can be manipulated. One criterion is whether or not the signals given by the firm are intended for its customers. In the first case, the company has little interest in manipulating the information. In the second case, doubts may exist. To avoid any form of dishonest use of private information, one solution lies in establishing a contract providing for all possible actions within the contractual relationship. Such a complete contract is hardly conceivable in commercial relations. Indeed, the uncertainty comes from both parties, but also often from factors external to the contractual relationship. Moreover, it is very complex to imagine the evolution of commercial relations between the parties. Contracts are, therefore, necessarily incomplete. To avoid any form of opportunism on the part of one of the parties, sanctions and incentives for compliance will have to be provided for. Information economics is the area of economic theory that has seen the most significant development in the last decade.